It's the Darragh and Paddy Show.
What's it called?
The Paddy and Darragh Show.
I'm pretty sure we said
the Darragh and Paddy Show.
Definitely.
It's the Paddy and Darragh Show.
Well, lads,
Welcome
back to the Paddy and Darragh Show. This is what episode is this now?
I think it's 15. It's not for
15.
15.
Like
It's
16. Oh, one of them.
One of the
We've lost count this day. Like, we've done too many. Listen, lads, we are absolutely blessed this week. Now we are joined by not one but two very special guests.
It's the first time we've had two special guests on, and waiting to tell you, lads, they're two very talented young men. Very talented young men. Will we tell them a little about them, Paddy?
A little bit about. Well, listen, boys. These two men form one half of the smash rock band known as the Psychs. They have 3 hit singles under their belt, 2 of which are very good. One of which is alright.
No, of course.
They're all great, boys. They're all great.
They're 3 bangers, and the title of one of them is Rocky, and it's actually a fucking great song. It's one of my summer anthems, after
Great
say.
tune,
Always
boys.
have it on.
Listen.
And these lads stem from Lucan, Celbridge, West Dublin, kind of Kildare area. There might be 1 or 2 from otherwise, I'm not sure, but that's what I was
He's his
informed.
research with this one. Anyway, lads, one of them was even lucky enough to perform with myself and Darragh in the attic of one of our mates. We were in a band a long time ago now called Faces for Radio.
Which is ironic,
6 of us.
because we're now doing a podcast.
And we're all very attractive men. Anyway, boys, without further ado, we are joined by the brilliant Adam Clampett and his name is Ben Redmond. Very small font on that Zoom call. Lads, how are you getting on?
Good man, how are you?
Yeah,
Excellent.
we're doing good. Thanks for coming on, and thanks for bearing with us. We had a bit of technical difficulties. We're supposed to start at 7. It's now 25 past 7. But you know what? We move on. It's life. We'll get through
Fashionably late.
it. Fashionably late, exactly. Like, it has to be done. It has to be done. Come here, like, obviously, you have just released a few banging tunes. Do you want to tell us firstly a little bit about the new singles that you've released?
Do you want to go better, Shay?
Yeah, sure. I'll go ahead.
Sure.
Yeah, so the last few songs we put out just in March there are called Rocky and Last Cigarette. So Rocky is kind of the more chilled out of the two. It's very much a vibey kind of thing. It's our soft song. Yeah, it's about a psychedelic rock singer from the 60s and 70s called Rocky Erickson, who kind of went mental off psychedelics. As much as our early image has relied on, the use of psychedelic imagery, it's kind of an anti-drug song, even though none of us are against drugs. It's just,
Fair enough.
Yeah, and
come here. It's a great song. Who penned it?
Our lead singer William.
Nice.
Very good. And boys, just I suppose, like, I know every artist now that we get on, we talk about like the writing process, and it tends to vary between different artists. Adam, would you mind just giving us a bit of an insight into what kind of happens when you all go into a studio? Does one person have a full idea? It's like, right, let's learn this. Do you just go in from scratch together? What way does that kind of work for you?
So yeah, usually it kind of starts with someone has some kind of core idea at the start, and usually we all in a room just jamming together, and just start off some sort of idea. Some might have a guitar part or a bass part, or sometimes Tyg might have like a drum part you might start with. And it literally just comes off just ideas coming off each other, throwing it together, and then we'll get kind of a rough version that day. We'll record like a little scratch thing on our phone, and then we'll come at it next week.
Cool.
And then we'll get the vocals for it and everything. And then as soon as we're ready with it, we have it somewhat polished structure-wise, we'll bring it to the studio.
Yeah, and do you find that you all tend to be kind of relatively on the same page when it comes to writing songs? There does tend to be a few creative differences along the way, like, or...
Every now and then there's a few little things, but I think like you kind of have to have that. You have to have your own ideas and your own inputs.
Yes.
Patrick's referencing the reason our band kind of...
Yeah.
I remember we were all up in Doonal's attic, and Doonal was like playing a few chords, and like, oh man, that's sick chords, and fucking Adam was giving it socks on the bass, and Bailey was on the drums now giving a bit of something, and then I was like, oh man, yeah, go to D minor next. And then Adam was like, no man, don't go to D minor, go to fucking F sharp major. And then Dune was like, I was actually thinking of C sus 749. And we all had something different, and we ended up in an argument over it.
Yeah, and I was like, boys, listen boys, just little G, D, A minor, C, I'm gonna stick with this one, boys. I'm telling you now, boys, we all are different. There was some boys going in a Van Halen route, others, the Pixies. you know, then there was a bit of
Muse.
fucking Ed Sheeran, the Coronas.
Yeah,
like there
there's
was
tons.
no common ground at all there.
And the one thing I remember was the Take Me Out, and Darragh, you had that infamous countdown before you started.
The
That
infamous
was
countdown.
beautiful.
Oh yeah, you have to belt it out. Whoa.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We were only looking at recording of our phone recently. I'm not sure if you've been lucky enough to see this footage, Ben, but let me tell you now, it was I don't want to take full credit for the talented musician that Adam is now, but it definitely, I say, made him better as a result of it.
I've seen a bit of footage of a.
Have you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Gas, yeah. No, it was great crack, I have to say. I really enjoyed the short time frame we were.
Definitely.
Oh, it's
Jamming.
unreal.
Exactly.
That's
So
class.
speaking, I suppose, there briefly just on musical influences, we were saying when we were facing for radio, we all had definitely very, very different ones. Ben, what would you say yourself now would be a common theme amongst the band musically? Like,
It's funny because we all kind of come from different directions, you know. Like it's cool because rather than creative differences, we all actually kind of have our creative facets that all kind of, you know, pour into one.
cool.
I'm very much from like a metal background, rock and metal and grunge. William, our lead singer, is kind of from the classic rock and kind of indie but more so rock background. Like he and I kind of share the Black Sabbath and Dio and kind of other stoner rock kind of stuff as well. Adam, I'll let Adam speak for himself, but he's Flea all over. Like he's Chili Peppers for days. And
You're always
Tig
a
is
Chili
very much
Peppers
the
man.
yeah. Tig is very much Tig's a weird mix. He's like progressive and punk.
Okay.
So we all kind of pour our own stuff in, but I suppose what we have in common would be kind of modern rock bands, like Queens of the Stone Age, the Strokes, you know.
I have to say, like all the genres and all the artists you're naming are all my cup of tea.
It's good,
So,
and as well, like I say, like they're different but also similar. It's
Yeah.
all like they're different leaves of the one branch. Like
I
that
actually
kind of way,
can't
so.
see how it wouldn't go wrong because they're also
How it wouldn't go right. Wouldn't go.
how it would
How
not-
it wouldn't right.
how it wouldn't
how it
go
wouldn't.
how it wouldn't not
I can't
go
see
right.
how it couldn't not
go wrong.
I can't see how it
Right.
could go wrong.
Yeah.
Could
It goes
not go
wrong
right.
far more often than you'd like to admit. Yeah.
I find the inspirations is so good for writing music because I think if one of us each just decided to write an entire song, like every instrument on its own, it would literally, for me, it would just sound like a Chili Pepper song. For Ben, it might sound like a metal song, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's gonna sound like an Alice in Chains song. If
It's
I
like
do it.
I will write something that would be very, say, Chili Peppers vibes,
Yeah.
or something that I'm into bass-wise, and then Ben will bring his influence in the guitar playing, Tig with his different bands, maybe a bit of punk, kind of that energy, you know what I mean, in the drums. And you then adding all those stuff, you start getting something that's kind of unique, if you know what I mean.
And I have to say, like,
100%.
it is a unique sound, I have to say, but a brilliant sound because like I remember when you released the 2 tracks, I was like, oh, straight away I have to listen. And the first song I heard was Last Cigarette. And one thing that really stood out in Last Cigarette, I think, is the infamous little spoken dialogue. Does anyone fancy
Who
it?
is that? Is that the Singer Boys or who takes
William,
that one?
yeah.
It
that's
is
what I'm saying.
William. Whose idea was that?
It was actually our producer.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so. Wasn't it?
Yeah, so I'll tell you the story of what happened. It's kind of interesting. I was doing we were thinking that was going to be a solo section for the guitar, but we hadn't written anything for that. And I was all day doing takes with the bass for a different song, and we went to that one eventually to take a break. And I was doing fine, and we just decided to take a third take just to kind of have it. And when I got to that point, I was just so brain fried. I don't even know what happened. I just stopped out of nowhere, but the drums were still going.
Right.
And I was just like, shit, I fucked up. And then he was like, no, wait. And then he went and did his fucking mad stuff, and he was like, this could be really cool. So that's why then it stops. It goes to a drum break.
Right.
And then the bass comes in, and then he was like, this could be really cool to have our singer talk over this. So
Deadly. So
That was
kind of a
kinda
happy
the
accent kind of thing.
yeah, it's crazy the amount of times that
I
happens.
actually, I love it even more now that I know that it was
Yeah, I love this
like an
stories.
accent.
It's
thing.
pure accident,
Oh,
like.
I love that. It's fucking
Some
class.
of the best things are born away, isn't it? Like just kind of someone nearly messes up and oh, hang, this could actually work. There could be something in this. Like, you know, it's not always the stuff that's intended. But deadly, yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about then. Oh no, sorry, you already told us about Rocky. But tell us a little bit about the recording process about it.
So yeah, basically our Ben, he knows this guy called Jack, and he has a home studio, and essentially he could do everything from vocals, guitar to bass. He would have to do the drums in our drummer's house, so he'd have to go over there. But it was class. Like he had a small little setup at his home, but he could do everything on the computer, and he could simulate amps, everything. And he just loves producing so much. He just knows all the ins and outs and everything. He's learned it himself.
Yeah.
So like when we did like the first scratch tracks, which are essentially there's no mixing, no editing put onto or anything. It's just it sounded like phenomenal. Everything is class. He's like, no, that's just nothing what it's gonna sound like at the end. So it was crazy, but yeah, so much fun. Like.
Great stuff, boys. And obviously, you know, we've been living in a pandemic era there. There hasn't been a lot of live music. What are your kind of plans now as we're kind of slowly but surely coming out of the coronavirus? Any plans for gigs or anything like that?
Yeah, I said, do you want to go, man? You go, man.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, like basically our focus is to kind of get back jamming first off. Like we want to get used to each other again because we haven't actually been playing in a room together since early 2020, like, you know, so or kind of summer 2020. So it's been a long while. We need to get back in the groove with each other, kind of get used to it. And then once that's done, hopefully get a bit more recording done because I don't think gigs the size we'd be playing at will be back for a little while. So, I mean, like basically as soon as gigs are a feasibility again, we're back at it, you know, like we are booking the soonest one.
Do you know, I think it'd be quicker than you think. I got a phone call to say, get ready to come back into work. Like, and I work in the Olympia Theatre and Tree Arena. I go around all the venues, so it might be sooner than you think, boys. So
get practicing, boys. Get practicing.
Brush the dust off the drumsticks and the bass, the guitar.
Well, listen, boys, we look forward to being in attendance when the gigs come back and when the Psychs are headlining, you know, or any festival or the Olympia or something like that.
It'll be class. Front row.
Absolutely.
EP 2022.
Yeah, honestly, just talking about it gives me a happy feeling in my chest.
Yeah, I'd say so, man. I'd say so.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about how the band came together?
Yeah. I suppose William and I were kind of the root.
See, Bill.
Yeah, sorry, short for William, but
right.
William and I were kind of the root of the band, like as in like, you know, we started back in 2017 as an acoustic folk duo.
Okay.
Originally called Bronco. I don't even know if Adam's heard this.
No, I haven't heard this. It's new to me.
Yeah, we then changed to Cobras and Boas.
Nice.
And then we changed our name to Libra Rising. And then eventually we were like, look, we came to a crossroads. We're like, we want to make this a band. And he said, you know, we have a couple different options for names. The Psychs is what we landed on. And I just put out on my story, we're looking for a drummer and a bassist. And it's funny, Adam and Tig both responded to my story. Originally, Adam was the drummer and Tig was the bassist.
Oh, so that's where that came from. That's where that came from.
Yeah. And halfway through the first jam session, they just switched places for fun, and it just gelled. Like, it's funny because Tig, he said to us, he basically lied about knowing how to play bass.
Oh.
And Adam was just like a rudimentary drummer at the time. He was only getting really into it, like, so.
Yeah.
He and Tig swapped around and it fucking gelled. Like, it came off so smooth, yeah.
Unreal.
Brilliant, yeah. No, because listen, just to read you saying there, like about the drums and stuff. We were having a conversation there with a few lads there the other night now, and it just came up about drums in general, right? And obviously, listen, the drums, they're not an easy instrument to play. You do need practice. It's not just hitting shit, like, do you mean?
Yeah.
Because we were out there with the lads, and one of our mates now, he's big into really getting a band together now and getting on the road and fucking practice. I think we had 2 rehearsals in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And there's just been every few months, someone will just throw a song to the group, so all lads learn this, and it might be
big
the Peppers,
things coming soon.
I don't even know any of the songs that have been, about 42 songs. And one of our mates who isn't musical at all, he's a sportsman, big into the football.
Never played an instrument.
And he just said one day, I don't know, boys, I was thinking I might pick up the drums. Our mate just goes, right, grand, boys, we have a drummer. This man now is going to start playing the drums. No, he hasn't started yet, boys. Listen to me now, boys. He's got rhythm, boys. And your man's like, yeah, I got rhythm. And just starts hitting the table, boom, boom, boom. He's like, look at this, boys. Look at this shit, boys. And it was like mostly in time, even that. And then, no, your man goes, oh, boys, fucking listen, if that's him now, give him 4 or 5 months, man. Give that man 5 months, like, he'll be ready.
Wait till he learns about cymbals.
Yeah. I was like, bro, it's not as easy as just fucking hitting the thing. I
remember you saying, have you any concept of life? Like,
that's what we tell drummers to make them feel better.
Concepts, because you'd be like, come on. You can be really musical and you can have rhythm, but like there's a lot to be thinking about with the drums, like.
Oh yeah, it's such a difficult instrument, like coordinating hands and feet, like.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Adam? Is it possible to be a
Proficient
very proficient drummer within 6 months.
In 6 months, yeah. I think if you're on it every day, definitely.
That's
I
why you're
mean,
not
you've been
genuinely-
at it what, like 2 years, and you're not there yet. Like.
Wow.
And that's
Thanks,
with a
thanks.
musical
Only
background.
Cadmium.
With a musical background, yeah, with
Yeah.
a lot of rhythm in the bass, but I don't know, this one's too strong because he was hitting the table now, like at the bar. But then he was like, I was looking at his feet and the foot was going too.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
know what I mean? So he does have
Got
potential.
a
So
little something
maybe. Listen, do we think it's time for a quick game?
Of course,
A
it's time
little
for a quick game.
but
Go
we
on,
have a few
go on.
games lined up now. Now, before the show started, I asked the boys to grab 2 pens.
2 pens.
Right, 2 pens I asked the boys. I said, listen, boys, if you get a red, now they have a black pen and a red pen, both boys. Now, I'm going to explain to you why you needed these pens.
All right, Paddy. Why do we need these
intrigued.
I'm
pens?
going to tell you now why you need these pens. So
I'm scared,
basically,
but
now Adam asked me, says, and I assume we need paper as well. Absolutely not. No paper needed
No
for this one.
paper needed.
Boys, I'm sure you are very well aware of the classic TV show hosted by the brilliant Philip Schofield called Mr. and Mrs. You're aware of that?
I don't think so.
They don't know it, but right. How the game works is basically you both have a pen, right? Let's say the black pen represents Adam and the red pen represents the brilliant Ben. Myself and Darragh are both going to ask a couple of questions, and
Okay.
and when we hear the questions, it might be who's most likely to do this, who's better at this, and you both hold up the pen to represent the person, and we'll just see if you're in
Ooh,
agreement.
okay. I like
Does
that.
that sound alright?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Great. So if you two would just like to bring your pens to the ready.
Yep.
Great.
I'm ready.
So if you just hold them there and hold
So
them
hold
up,
them up,
hold
and
them
then
up.
just remove the one. Yeah. So
Yeah, yeah.
black is
I'll
Adam.
remove
Just 'cause
it,
we're wearing a
okay.
black t-shirt, so we'll say black is Adam,
Cool.
and then we'll just say red for Ben. All right?
Adam, can you swap pens?
Yep.
Great.
There you
That was annoying, was it?
Yeah, it was. It has to be.
Fair enough.
It was really annoying me.
It's all good. It's all good.
Paddy, do you want to get us started?
All right, boys. I'll kick this off. All right. So my first question for the gentleman is, who has a more diverse music taste? Oh, it's a match.
Oh, it's a
it's
match.
a match. Okay,
Very good.
Right there.
I can't remember who's who. Who's red again?
Red is Ben.
Red's
Red is
Ben.
Ben,
See,
okay.
I'd like to
That's-
say I have a very diverse music taste, but I feel like if I mention any artist, Ben will know something about them.
Fair
so
enough.
I have to give it to him. I have to give it to him for that.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
He might be
I-
just
I-
might be just chatting out of his hole, but I don't know.
I'm a I'm a dispensary for absolutely fucking useless information on 90% of the players. So, I mean,
Not
like,
know that. Not know that.
yeah,
Next
like,
question.
yeah.
Who is most likely to go missing on a night out?
Another match, boys. This is another one, kind of slightly night out related, boys. Our gift from Zoom we've received, boys.
Yeah,
We've just
we're-
received a gift
we're
from
just-
Zoom.
I don't know
apparently.
why.
I don't know what
we
that is.
decided to
We
give this
we
gift.
can only kind of see the boys, but we'll keep going.
Keep
We'll keep going. My next question was also night out related, and obviously I don't know your situations at the moment, but who tends to be better with women on nights out?
Heartthrob in the
I mean,
corner
I'd
here.
say so.
I mean, I can't. He's done with the girlfriend. I'm the
I'm
single one, so I
taken.
can't say
Yeah,
anything.
so-
But
Hey, I'm just gonna
I
say
don't
I
dare
am
it with
a,
that hair, man. Don't dare it with that hair.
I'm a
Hey.
fucking talker. I'm a fucking talker.
Oh, man.
yeah, you could chat for all day. So
However,
it's a
I
close
love
one,
my
it's a close
girlfriend
one.
very much.
I would love to hear that,
That's
boys.
nice.
I'm gonna move
There's
on.
been a few love confessions on the.
Just force him to say that.
Ew, yeah, Rachel Cousins,
Chris Staples or Chris.
Chris Leonard, Ben. What's his name? Ben
Redmond.
Ben
Redmond.
Redmond.
Darragh Bacon.
Darragh Bacon.
Big Mike.
Big Mike. Yeah,
Uh,
loads. Go on.
Okay, my question is, who is most likely to start a row during a band rehearsal?
Oh, not a
Oh.
match there,
So
boys.
both of these are hot-headed.
He's both
Okay.
think yourselves.
I would say Ben is more likely to do it with William, our singer, but I feel like I can keep a calm head, but I feel like I would
That's true.
say anything if I can call out on it. I feel
Yeah,
like I wouldn't be afraid to call anyone out on anything. And stuff.
That's
Come
very
on.
true. William, I will fucking explode at William just because he's my best friend. I've known him for fucking years.
Yeah.
I will blow up at him. I'll just be like, "That's fucking stupid." But
No,
between
man.
between
Yeah,
every,
no,
yeah,
no,
between
no.
everyone else, I
Just
tend to
send
play
for
the
me, just
diplomat.
send for me. Yeah, you need that though. Just all guns blazing.
Keep your
Yeah.
ground.
All right, boys. It's quite a generic one, boys. Who's more talented? Oh, quick! But you know, that's lovely, boys. These are backing each other, and that's
Adam
real
is,
friendship.
Adam is 100% the best bassist I've ever met.
God, don't say that.
No, literally. Like,
I love
actually,
how
when
he
we were,
returned, it goes,
we were at the Grand Social. When we played the Grand Social on March 4th, 2020, I will never fucking forget that day because it was the last time I was happy. We were playing and we went backstage after the gig, and both my brothers, right, they came back and I thought they were going to be like, oh, I'm proud of you, that was such a good show. They woke up, the first thing they say is, who's your bassist?
I was scared because Ben's a big lad. How tall?
You
are you, Ben?
large, man.
Yeah,
I'm
I was.
6'5".
Yeah, 6'5", and are your brothers taller than you? We were there at
They're
the
about my
gig,
height, yeah.
and at the very end of the Grand Social, I saw these two lads standing like this in like suits and like
Shirts,
proper. And they
yeah.
looked like
They came from
bodyguards, and they were
work.
gonna like that they were judging us, going to kill some. They come straight to us behind stage, and I was so scared. Who are these dudes?
Okay, and my question is, who is most likely to not turn up for a gig because they're just like forgot?
Either.
Yeah, I'd say neither. No.
Yeah,
Neither.
Hey, boys,
Yeah,
determined. Have
We
you
are
one more?
fucking-
Yeah,
Dave?
def.
We're
I
at
think
it.
we're dying
Alright,
so
boys.
much for a gig. That
And my last one, boys. Similar enough. Who's most likely to leave the band
Oh.
and go in a different direction? Solo career, different band. Come back to Face It for Radio.
Fuck you then.
Ah, but
I just joke. I'm just saying Ben because he does a lot of solo stuff and he sings
Yeah,
and he does
I mean,
indie
fair
music,
enough,
so,
fair
you know,
enough.
he's already starting his other career, you know.
he's already tipping away there just in case, boys.
His
Now, he
plan
does
B,
believe
you
more
know?
to the
Sad
band. He
acoustic
believes in the
songs.
rest
Just
of
the
the band.
backup plan.
Boys, like, no, boys,
Yeah.
just in case, fucking tip away this, boys. Yeah, yeah.
See, no one will listen to a solo bassist. They'll listen to someone who sings, though. So.
Well, lads, you did.
You're
you
not
did
wrong
well
there,
at the
Adam.
start there, but you kind of lost your way, the run of yourselves there.
Do you know what? That was quite nice though, because for the ones like, you know, who's more likely to leave, like them picking each other shows their commitment to the band themselves.
Exactly.
So even when they didn't match,
Yeah.
there was wholesome
There you
nature
go.
behind it.
Wholesome nature.
Wholesome nature behind it.
There you go, boys.
We actually just secretly hate each other.
Together. Yeah, I fucking
Yeah,
hate
true.
that
Do you know what, boys? Only on the Paddy and Darragh Show would you hear a member of the Psychs sing High School Musical. Do you know
That
what I
is-
mean?
yeah,
You wouldn't get
guy.
that
Oh
on
shit,
any
can we
show.
cut that out?
No, that's been kept
We
in,
can't
man.
cut anything out, but that's how it's the start point. This is one take.
That's gonna
one
be the
take,
promo. That's gonna be the promo, man. Just you singing, we're on this together.
Yeah.
I think that brings us swiftly along to our first official segment of the Paddy and Darragh
Yeah,
Show.
and is this the one that we do every week except for the weeks that we don't?
Well, we have a few of them, but
The
this is
main one.
Well, no.
Okay,
like
this
that.
one.
Yeah, this
Oh,
one.
excellent.
We have a nice little jingle. We click. We sing jazz.
Yeah.
Harmony.
Harmony, you know. It is what I was thinking of,
Bit
yeah.
of romanticism.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
Alright, ready for it? Here it is. The jingle is coming now.
Now.
Honesty is the best policy. Let's hope it doesn't get sour in honesty hour. And we're back. That is called Honesty Hour in 5 minutes. No, it's called Honesty Hour in 3 minutes.
But most
But it's
likely
always
5
5 to 10 minutes. But there's 4 of us today, so there'll probably
Love
be.
it.
to 20.
Hour and a half.
Anyway, boys, the way this game works, we're just going to throw a question at you. We've one question now,
Yeah.
just to speed things up slightly. One question, we've worked very hard now, we wrote this now, we spent all morning there
About
writing this
6
question.
months ago,
Yeah. We're going to pitch this question to you two men, and you can both, it can be a shared one, it can be an individual one, and we're going to answer as well, alright?
Yeah.
So Darragh, give them the question.
Alright, Paddy, I'll give you the question. So, our question for you guys, and for each other, and ourselves,
And ourselves.
is
And
what...
this little fella, look. He can
And
answer.
this little
He can
fella.
answer.
What is the craziest concert or gig that you've ever done or been at?
Oh, I know the answer straight away to this.
Go on,
Go on,
Clampo.
But it's kind of two. All right, so I went to see Liam Gallagher 3 times, I think now.
Okay.
First time in Malahide, and everyone went crazy because it's the first time he'd done a gig since Oasis.
Nice.
And
Right, oh yeah.
there was some dude, there was videos of it everywhere. Everyone was going crazy, and there was some dude up at the front, old man, not old, probably like in his mid-40s, completely naked on some dude's shoulder, just going crazy for Liam, like holding aside, like get naked for Liam and all this kind of stuff.
Could you
Went
imagine
down
imagine if that caught on though, and just the
Yeah.
whole arena like fucking was taking the kit off like fucking.
I think that would be
Then-
illegal.
Yeah.
Then I thought
absolutely.
that's what it was.
Right.
Yeah, that would be it. Then it got worse. I went down to Cork to see him. I think it was the next year, and it was I forgot where it was. It was some rugby pitch, but it has like the white floor on it, so it wasn't damaging the grass. But anyway, there's this guy in front of me, and all of a sudden I start seeing he's just pulling down his trousers, just pissing everywhere.
What?
And then his mates just start like slapping his bare ass and all this. So I'm like, what the fuck? And then I turn around because in my peripheral I see all of a sudden there's tons of this white space. I was like, that's the floor. And there's a huge circle. And there's another dude just naked, just walking around behind me. And all the women are just running away like, what are you doing? I was just like, what even is this gig? This is like,
What is up with Liam
What
Gallagher
is it?
fans and getting their kit off?
yeah, why did they get naked for Liam? It's a bit.
And was there a third time? Did that calm down a bit, or did that only?
No, it wasn't. Not the third time. Well,
Only saw him
fortunately.
twice. Yeah. No. Yeah, Liam Gallagher. I saw him once now. It wasn't a crazy night out.
Is there puke down though?
Yeah, no, that was it. Like, it was grand. It was going a bit too well, to be honest. I was with one of the boys, Reen Porter, giving a little shout out because to be fair, he did give me the ticket. And we went with one other man. Can't remember his name.
Sean Phelan, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't.
No?
No, fella, left from college. And great night, went very, very smoothly. And I think Reen looked at me and goes, "Jeez, boys, fucking like this is for Liam." Gallagher gave us fairly calm, and literally with that boys turned around and some fella, it literally like the last song, like literally was only about 10 minutes left the gig, and absolutely spews all over him, fucking absolute t-shirt covered in this man's
And
puke,
there's a
like.
picture.
Yeah, literally.
Of it happening, like, of the fella, like.
Was it a picture or video? I think I was recording a song. I actually think it might have been Wonderwall. I actually think it might have been. And it literally, you can't see him get sick, but you can literally see the man walking. He's a bit unsteady. And he's like, oh, and then the camera just turns to me like, baby. But you can see it happen. It makes sense what happened after. And he just looked at me and said, "Do you know what? I was thinking it was going a bit too well," and it absolutely was. But yeah, Ben, have you got a crazy story for us?
It's between two shows as well for me. So the first one was I went to see Slayer in November 2018, in the Tree Arena. And it was, see, the thing is, there's a weird dynamic with metal crowds are always oftentimes quite like, there's a lot of fraternity, like everyone's buddies. But when it comes to 80s thrash metal bands, all the fans are in their 50s. And it's all their night out of the year, and the wives let them loose, and they get fucked up and take their shirts off. And it was the most violent crowd I've ever been part of.
Jesus.
I was lifted. I'm a big lad. I was lifted off my feet. My buddy was lifted over the barrier. Another friend of mine got concussed, I think. I almost got the shit beaten out of me just outside the mosh pit by some fucking owl lad just having his night out. Like
the nights out is those fucking beating up lads, like a bit of metal by his adrenaline.
And the other one would be myself and William, the singer, went to see Sticky Fingers in the Academy.
Yes.
In 2019. Not the first time there's been Sticky Fingers in the Academy, but
Oh,
yeah,
Jesus.
so
Can't even cut it out.
No.
Can't even cut it out. Continue. It'll go over loads of people's heads. Don't worry about that.
It would have until we stopped. And pointed it out.
Yeah.
True.
And you continue.
We were there, and it was the lead singer started smoking on stage, and the stage manager was going fucking crazy. And then this naked ginger lad was crowd surfing, so they pulled him out, and he was walking past, and he decided to try and jump over the barrier back into the crowd. Right, he's just walking past me, so this big sweaty naked fella was just squirming all over me to get back into the crowd.
Yeah.
And the bouncer started leaning over me. I was doing like the Neo from Matrix, leaning back about 70 degrees. So it was, yeah, that was pretty fun. Yeah.
What is up with all the naked
It's the
people?
nudity with these metal gigs, but the rock attracts the fucking, it brings the madness out of
Brings the
people.
fucking
It
everyone's
happens,
supposed to
man.
take
It
off their
happens.
clothes.
And Sticky Fingers are like, they're the perfect mix of like, oh yeah, someone left a joint behind me in that crowd. There's in the Academy, like, so it's like in a tiny closed room, but Sticky Fingers is like the perfect mix of like rock and reggae.
All
and
right.
indie. So like,
That's
it's
interesting.
the perfect environment for a bunch of high lads to start taking their kit off.
Listen, boys.
Speak for yourself, Ben.
If ever I'm looking for that kind of night out, I know where to go.
Yeah.
I know where to go. Darragh, have you got a crazy night out?
Yeah,
Crazy gig?
yeah, I do. Do you know who it was? It was fucking oh Jesus, I've forgotten his name. Oh lads, what the hell? How could I forget his name?
Justin Bieber.
No, not
Yeah.
the Arctic. Do you know, I'll tell the Arctic Monkey story because I'm after forgetting the name of the fella I was gonna say. Anyway, at Arctic Monkeys after their hotel fucking casino Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino album, which I loved, by the way. A lot of people shit on it. I really liked the album, but it was the first time I was going to see the Arctic Monkeys. I'd seen the last Shadow Puppets previously, so I'd already seen the man, the myth, the legend that is Alex Turner, and I've mentioned in the previous episode that he is my my gay crush.
Yeah.
And I've no shame in
Transcendent
admitting
being.
it. But Arctic Monkeys played a fucking brilliant gig. Oh, the place was hopping. Like you said, Ben, there was a few owl lads who were let out of the cave as well. They were allowed allowed out from the fam to go on a bit of a night out. So a few of them about, a few young people about, just good vibes. But anyhow, Arabella came on. Great song.
Great.
Yeah.
Love that tune.
Great tune. Nice heavy song.
Yeah.
Fucking everyone jumping around the place. And there was a big massive mosh pit just happening in front of me and Reen. And the two of us were like looking at everyone jumping around. And me and Reen just looked at each other and we just went, we hop in, will we? And we're like, go on. So the two of us went, 1, 2, 3. We jumped in, right? I was fucking transported. It was like going through a wormhole, right? I was transported about 400 meters across the entire of the tree arena in about 5 seconds. I was passed from one end to the other. I was head-butted. I was wearing braces at the time, and I remember my face went like flying into someone's head, and my lip like got stuck to my braces and all, and I was bleeding and all.
Man.
But I actually didn't even care because I was just on such a good buzz and it was so much fun. And I got out of it anyway, managed to fly back out. And was it you? Were you at that?
I wasn't at
No,
that.
someone
No, I
who
wasn't
was
there.
with us was like, we thought we fucking lost you. We just fucking teleported. Oh, mad gig.
That reminds me of
Great
my first mosh pit when I was 15. It was Napalm Death.
Oh,
And,
Jesus.
I was just standing there, and they started playing. It was my first gig, so I was in awe. I was like, and then I was standing right in the middle of the pit. I just got fucking reefed like 10 feet to the left.
Yeah,
This is in Vicar Street. I just got passed around. Yeah.
See, mosh pits are fun when they're not like...
They're not so uncontrolled. Like, it can be dangerous.
Like, sure, my
Yeah.
dad was nearly killed in a mosh pit.
Yeah.
I went to see Black Sabbath when he was 16. And he said there was a massive mosh pit, and he said
Back when there was no regulation.
no. I went to see Black Sabbath then when I was 16, and he was like, "You're not going near the
You're
mosh
not
pit."
going anywhere near, boys. No, you're not going anywhere near. No, I'm here. Yeah, just very quickly, boys, because mine was it actually happened at EP. And it was during the brilliant fucking Jerry Cinnamon.
The man, the myth.
Now I listened to Jerry's music before going to EP. And he didn't strike me as the kind of person that would attract the wildness
lunatics.
and the fucking just I don't know what because you expect it. It's exactly so you'd expect it from metal bands, you know, Black Sabbath and fucking Sticky Fingers and Black Death, fucking
Napalm Death,
mad shit. Like you'd expect that. Jerry
Black
Cinnamon
Death, Sex Cult. Yeah.
Yeah, but exactly as you said, man. I think it is that Celtic thing, the Scottish and the Irish, and just the fucking banter. He comes on, and he had like a loop pedal where he's fucking banging the guitar, boom, boom, boom. But even before he came on, there was like again people like on each other's shoulders. There was one man, and it was kind of an upgrade from just being on someone's shoulders, where he literally just got thrown up in the air. Like we literally just waiting for the man to come on, and we literally just see this human body fucking thrown up in the air and like landing back there. Just lads being fired around. Like, this is mad. He hasn't even walked on. He walked on, fucking first chord. And it's like, where I'm seeing like inflated Johnnies behind me. There's fucking lads throwing shoes. The person in front of us, for whatever reason, had a mop. Starts helicoptering this mop and he fucking takes their heads off with it. And we're like, hang on now. Why do you have a mop at Electric Picnic? You know the walk. It's a long old hike.
Why would you bring a mop?
Yeah, well, okay, hang on. So I have a few pairs of socks. Yeah, a few socks, grand.
Cans.
A few cans for the boys. Oh, fuck's sake, man.
The mop.
How could I nearly forgot the mop, man. Jeez, you didn't I can hear the mop, and it's just mad.
There was flares and all being lit, wasn't there?
And again, mosh pits and listeners, like I see it together, everybody. Yeah, it was absolutely bizarre, man. But a great experience. I'd definitely recommend seeing Jerry live if you haven't yet, because he brings the energy.
Always wanted to.
It was mad. The same gig I was talking about in Cork with Liam, Jerry was opening for that.
Oh,
I'd never heard of this dude before, and everyone was shouting like, Jerry, Cinnamon, all this before he even came out, and I knew not one of his songs, but the crowd was just unreal.
Everyone just absolutely obsessed with Jerry Cinnamon. It was the only gig I think I didn't go to. I went to about 756 bands, didn't sleep because or eat because I was running from band to band. Missed Jerry Cinnamon. Apparently, it was the most phenomenal thing that ever happened in the history of Electric Picnic. But sure, look, it's always next year, hey.
There is indeed. Right, okay, well that just about concludes Honesty Hour.
Great stories, lads, I must say.
Enjoyed that, boys. You didn't disappoint.
That brings us to our final segment of the night.
Does it though?
It does, yeah.
Well, no, it doesn't. Not our final. No, it doesn't actually. Now, I'll actually take this because Darragh tends to sometimes forget shows that we've agreed to do. We actually have another quick game just before the last bit.
That's right.
And this game, boys, again, Using musical men. Now, have you actually prepared this?
No, I'm gonna go off the cuff.
Okay, good man.
love to
Using
see
musical men, boys. You know your songs, and you especially know your rock songs. This is a little game called. Let's just say what song are these lyrics from? Basically, was
That's a fucking great name.
Oh, I'm gonna be bad at this.
I wonder what this game entails. All right. Basically, we both have 3 lyrics each. We're going to read them out. They're all from different rock songs, maybe classic rock, maybe grunge, maybe metal. And we're just going to read out the lyrics and see if either of you can work as a team, can guess what song it's from. Right?
Oh, no.
I'm gonna be awful at this.
Can't wait to be
just-
fucking embarrassed as like a rock connoisseur.
Yeah.
Can't wait to
All right, boys.
Everyone's gonna judge us now.
I think you suck at this one. We'll start off easy enough, all right, boys? This is a classic. The lyric is the following. And I might just disguise my voice to make it less obvious.
Alright.
So the lyric is, so many times it happened too fast. You change your passion for glory.
Yeah, I know that. Do you know, Adam?
No idea.
Go on,
It's
Ben.
Eye of the Tiger by Survivor.
It is indeed. Good man,
Point
Ben.
for Mr.
I
Ben.
point for
should have
Ben.
known that. Oh,
I originally said they'd work as a team. I think you should be a head-to-head.
Yeah,
I
make
think
it a
Ben
head-to-head.
gets the
All right.
point. I'm gonna do a little.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a little dig.
We'll do a little dig.
Hopefully it comes in on time.
Give me a Chili
Sometimes
Pepper
the
song,
timing is
come
off with them.
Alright.
Give me a chili pepper
Right.
stone.
Give me a chili pepper song.
He's ready
We like
for
close
my
in.
one.
Go on.
Quite simply, right? Tell my mother, my dog, and clowns.
Oh, I don't know.
No idea,
Oh.
Ben. It's out of bounds. Tell my mother, my dog, and
I
clowns.
feel like it's quite distinctive. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you wouldn't know.
You
if
don't know,
know.
Felt like
Yeah.
I recognised
That
at the
is
start.
clearly "Fly Me to the Moon" by Frank Sinatra.
Very
No,
close.
that
Oh, I'm
was
fucking
that
lost.
was the fantastic "Life on Mars" by David Bowie.
I'm not a big Bowie guy, so
There you
No,
go.
same, I'm gonna listen to it.
I don't dislike his music. I just never really got into it.
Fair
That's
enough. Fair enough.
I
Fair enough.
respect that.
I know I'm
So
a
boys,
heathen.
I'm not sure if you get this. I definitely wouldn't get this one, but you might. Okay, the lyric is the following: in the middle of a railroad track, I looked round, and I knew there was no turning back.
Man, I feel like I know these, but I don't think I know the
Oh
name.
my god! It isn't "Here I Go Again" by Whitesnake, is it?
Not quite. Not quite. You're not too far off. It's
Can you say it again?
yeah, I'll say it again, boys. Right, so it's in the middle of a railroad track. I looked round and I knew there was no turning back. I think it's
I
quite.
just can't put my finger on that.
Yeah, I think
Just
it's quite representative
thematically-
of like it's good rock where it's kind of like I'm standing there on a rock and it's me and my guitar and lightning strikes. I think
Yeah.
I almost feel like it's taken from this genre and this type of band. And it is all no.
I'm literally just gonna go out on a whim due to the theme of the line. I'm gonna say "Baba O'Reilly" by The Who.
It's not quite, boys. So that was actually a line, boys. You might kick yourself when you find out. The song is actually "Thunderstruck" by AC/DC.
Oh my
No
god!
way! I knew I recognised it. Oh my
To be
god.
fair, like I've never met a person who knows the lyrics instead of
To be fair, we couldn't have given you that one. We couldn't have given you that.
I love that
I
album
know,
as
no.
well.
trick question
Oh,
and I hate
no.
it. I denounced that question.
We're so getting cancelled. Psychs cancelled now for
Cancelled,
not
yeah.
being true.
Are you ready for the next song lyric? Right.
I love how you still have your thing out even though you're taking it straight from the head.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, good man.
Praise and witness to mankind, poisoning their brainwashed minds.
Oh, I know this. I can't. Say it again. Say it again.
Do you know,
Oh,
actually,
Wolf Pigs by Black Sabbath.
Yay! Good man.
Brains, a ding.
Poisoning their
brain.
I should know that. We played that. We
That's-
played
yeah,
it.
we
played
Miss
that.
Radio.
Was it Ben
You
that got
wanted
it?
to cover
Ben
that.
got
So
it.
2 points to Ben. Adam is still on null point.
Zero. No.
Adam wanted to
No
cover
point.
that.
Yeah.
Listen, my fingers on the butter for this one. I think you might know, but at the same time, by the way you're going, you might have a clue, boys. The lyric is the following: did you lose your mind trying to find the truth?
That's Rocky by the Psychs.
Well done. 3 points to Ben. Smashing it.
I'm willing to make this last round This is the last one, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the last
I'm willing
one.
to make this winner takes all.
Can you get it? Oh, big talk from Benny. Said
Oh,
he's
big
willing
talk.
to take it. Winner.
It's not big talk. It's sympathy. It's pity.
All right, boys. So
I
next
should've
next
got that.
round wins. Is that what you're saying? So whoever gets this is the winner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
6 points.
You
No
ready?
pressure, no pressure.
Hope you have a good one for it now.
It will take a couple of vodka and tonics to set me on my feet again.
I have no fucking clue.
So
I'm
you've
this
both
is
lost.
on you.
Yeah, I have no idea.
It'll take a couple of vodka and tonics to send you on your feet again. No?
No clue.
Elton John, that is Goodbye Yellow Brick Road.
Don't listen to
yeah.
Elton John.
One of my favourite songs of all
It's a
time.
good song. It's a good song.
Oh, I'm kicking myself.
Man. Yeah, I don't.
I should have gotten Rocky and War Pigs.
In the same as Bowie. I just
To
never
be
really got
fair,
that
Adam.
one.
Yeah, you should have gotten Rocky now. To be fair.
And
Yeah. Anyway.
you should have gotten Black Sabbath as well. We sang
I
it
should have
about
gotten
50
that.
times a
I
rehearsal.
know.
So look, you're
Oh
under the
my
pressure,
God.
boys. You're
To be
under
fair,
pressure. Happens.
I'm a vehement Black Sabbath fan. So
Yeah, I if you didn't get it, I would be very worried now, to be fair.
yeah.
Okay.
It's
So I'm
an
just a
iconic
bassist. I know nothing, so I'll stay.
You're the geezer butler.
Well, that brings us actually this time
Now we
to
are.
the
Now
last
we are,
part
yeah.
of the show, which is sad because I'm enjoying it. It's been good to catch up with you, and we're having a bit of crack.
Yeah.
But this is a part of the show where we like to discuss the things that are negative and positive in our lives, things that are funny,
Yeah.
and we get it off our chest, don't we?
We
Paddy?
do, and it's great because I feel real nice now for the weekend after do this because it's
Yeah.
like I have these things kept bottled up in the
Never
inside,
gone.
and then I talk about them,
No.
and I put them into the open.
So
Breath of fresh air.
before we begin, we'd
Yeah.
like to do a little something. So we're gonna look.
The three of us will do it this time.
with the three of us, and we're gonna look into the little white light over there.
Oh, the big white bright light.
bright
The big
light.
white bright light.
And
Ready?
we're gonna take a breath in.
Breath in. Here we go. Lads, it's time for the slate. It's the weekly review. Okay, that time again, everyone.
We're going to start on the slate.
The best time of the week, but it's my favorite time of the week.
My favorite time of the week, indeed.
It's my favorite time of the week now.
Friday.
It's a lovely day,
TGIF.
sunshine.
So basically, for the slate, something negative, something you want to get off your chest, something that's been bugging you. You just want it out there and gone.
Yeah.
Adam, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, all good. So what I'm going to put on the slate this week is how people treat drivers, but I guess end drivers. So I've only recently gotten my full driving license about in February, but the amount of thank you. The absolute amount of grief I've been getting on the road for people, just like, it's crazy. Like I was coming back in the M50 one day and some truck was like tailgating right behind me. And then I went off, and then he completely went to turn into me. I had to go into the hard shoulder.
Jesus.
And then because he went halfway into my lane, then back into his, and then completely beat me off. So he was almost trying to shove me off for no reason. And then another one, I was going up a hill. I was in too high of a gear, so I went down so I could, go up the hill a lot easier. And the guy was just right behind me, BMW driver, of course. I slowed down a little because I had to change the gear, and he was going absolutely crazy. And I think, people are just too fixated in their own world and everything that they should treat people a little nicer,
Honestly, no, I do agree with you. It's something
Come on,
I've experienced a few times now. Yeah, even just kind of getting out, just doing a bit of practice just myself. But you do see it though. People just have no patience on the roads. I mean, they see the M play like. I mean, like just kind of
Or the
something
L
a bit
plate.
slow. The N or the L, yeah. Just like
I feel like it's worse for L plates, honestly.
probably, yeah. Well, turn around, like I mean, like you do your own thing. You don't need to be like beeping and honking at someone and just a bit of respect.
It makes you make more mistakes. You
People
panic.
think
Yeah,
that
of course it does.
people
Yeah,
think
bit of
they
respect
can,
and
they
all
can
that.
fuck you around because you're an L or an N plate,
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like being in first year fucking secondary school. Yeah,
It's getting
wearing an L or
bullied for
an
sure.
N.
First year mates, man. Yeah.
Yeah, breaking the one-way system or something like.
Yeah,
fuck's sake,
honestly,
come on.
yeah. I'm sorry. Ben, what are you putting on the slate?
What I'm putting on the slate this week is I've had a shit week in work. Just my manager was pulled away, so I've kind of been in by myself running the shop basically. So it's just been a stressful time, And kind of following on from Adam's note, actually, a lot of people just don't know how to treat retail workers, especially during like COVID, where everyone's more stressed.
Yeah.
It's just I've been dealing with a lot of people the past week who work in mobile repair. So like they come in, they're angry about their phones not working, and it falls on us a lot, the people who repair it. The anger. So it's just again, treat people a bit nicer. Following on from Adam's point.
Be kinder to each other, guys. Come on.
Cost nothing, boys. Cost
Come on,
nothing.
lads. Piece of mass, lads. Piece of mass.
Nice and nice. Right, lovely one, Darragh.
Yeah, so my one's not going to make sense to a lot of people, but I will explain. I'm putting lead aprons on the slab, or on the slate. It's been a while since I said that. I'm putting lead aprons, so basically anyone who works in a surgical theatre or as a radiographer, radiologist in a hospital knows that if you're dealing with radiation, we have to wear lead aprons to keep us protected. Now, in retrospect, great thing.
Yeah.
Glad they're there.
Yeah.
However, they're extremely heavy.
And do they look like aprons?
You wear, I'll show you a picture. It's like you wear, it's like a tunic sort of thing on top.
Like a little lead,
and then there's a little waist thing that you strap on.
Doesn't say Bacon Sweat's Kitchen.
And then, no, it doesn't. Okay. But there's actually a thyroid collar as well.
Very good.
But they're very heavy. And I'm not sure if you've witnessed, lads, but it's been about 23 degrees every day this week. The air conditioning doesn't work great in the hospital. So we've been in theatre in the searing heat, wearing these really heavy and warm leads, along with PPE, so the gowns, the FFP2 masks, the visors, and I swear to God, I've never sweat as much in my life. You'd be standing there for 4 hours, and the heat, and then like you're under pressure as well, so the pressure, oh Jesus, lads.
I'm sweating just thinking about
imagine.
I was with a radiographer, Ron, what a guy, but we came out of theatre, and he soaked through his scrubs, like he was sweating that much. I was like, Jesus, Ron, you need a fucking shower, man, you're absolutely sweating. But yeah, so I'm putting lead aprons on the slate purely because of how heavy and warm they are. But I love them too because they protect me from dying, so that's nice.
Yeah, because
And a moment of appreciation for Ron.
Ron.
It's more the appreciation for Ron.
We love you, Ron.
I feel that was.
Love you,
yeah,
Ron.
that's absolutely.
I do love Ron.
Put those lead aprons on.
Ron might show me good vibrations.
Yeah, we might come back to Ron. We might hear more from Ron.
Patrick.
Now, my boys, it's us. I'm gonna put smashing swing chairs and sunglasses on the slate this week, boys.
The
Because
name of the latest episode.
it could be. We always like to alliteration for the episodes. No, boys, know what it is, boys. It's just like I've a lovely swing chair at the back, boys, but I don't like is how kind of easy they are to just kind of go through.
Oh, yeah,
they kind of break. I have a bit of a history of breaking chairs. With Darragh, I'll tell you,
history.
I've broken chairs in the past.
He's broken. He broke my kitchen chair. My lovely leather.
That's just
kitchen
because I leaned
chair.
back on it.
He's so tall.
Yeah.
He like leaned back very like excitedly.
Aggressively. Well,
and
yeah,
the
I was
whole back of
excited
it
about
just snapped
probably
off.
seeing
Like,
you or something. Yeah.
yeah.
No, anyway, boys, I just literally, obviously, all week's been it's been scorching weather, and literally just went out my back garden there yesterday to try and catch a few rays. It was a beautiful day, having shades on, factor 20. I've gone down now, used to be on the 50, but I'm living on the edge. I'm wild now, boys.
I'm a 50 man.
You're still a 50 man, boys.
I'm a 50 man too, and I still burn.
A pasty motherfucker, yeah.
Yeah.
I still burn too.
Me too, bro.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But I just whatever way I kind of see, because I have loads of like stones, kind of where the swing chair is kind of situated. So to kind of avoid stepping into the stones and hurting my poor feet.
Okay.
Poor
feet.
And he says he's a strong man wearing 20 factor 20.
Yeah.
I thought you lived on the edge, man.
Yeah, man.
What I like to do, boys, it just kind of, I kind of give the swing a little bit of a push forward, and then let it kind of come back towards me, gathering momentum and that kind of pendulum, right? And then as it kind of comes in towards me, I kind of just kind of picks me up.
Pivot.
It picks me up. It picks me up like a ski lift, boys. It kind of comes to meet me halfway. I like to kind of sit into it. But this particular occasion, boys, I just put a little too much force into it. And the whole fucking bottom of it just burst, like it came off the nuts that it was on.
Oh, what?
I had nuts on my the nuts on my side. I had nuts
on your side.
All right, yeah.
Nuts and bolts of the chair were digging into my
Probably
side.
get that
boys.
checked out if you have nuts on your side.
Yeah.
Nuts on my side, sticky fingers, and the net, boys, was hanging low.
The nuts or the net?
Yeah.
The nuts were digging into my side,
and
the net was hanging
low.
Yeah.
And I also slightly bent my sunglasses. That's where they come into it. So anyway, boys, smashing swing chairs and sunglasses.
Very good.
This week.
Some story.
Just for the record, Patrick has also broken our friend Rachel's swing chair. Do you remember you burst through that? Well, the two of us did.
But that was a joint effort.
We sat down at the same
at
time and we popped our arses through the bottom of it. These things happen, boys.
Classic.
But that brings us on to good vibrations. So,
Good little sounds.
what is looking optimistic for the future? this week? Adam, do you want to tell us?
Totally feeling good about
I think for me, I think coming back to what you're saying, I think just gigs and stuff starting to come back up. Like I'm starting to get tickets for stuff, and I'm actually going to see Royal Blood. I don't know if that's reverse or not.
Deadly, yeah.
I'm gonna see
Did
Royal
you get a
Blood in
ticket?
Manchester. Yeah, I got a ticket now,
Nice.
and can't wait for that. And then hopefully, obviously, with the band as well, with stuff like that, we should
deadly.
hopefully get for ourselves. So I'm just super hoping for that, and I hope this is the end now. This is
It's coming, boys.
I think
No,
it
I
is.
feel
No,
about
for
it.
sure.
Stretch.
Ben?
It's on its way.
Mine's actually very similar to Adam's. We didn't coordinate this, but we very similar points. Yeah, so I'm assuming you saw it. Maybe you didn't, but yesterday there was like a tester gig with James Vincent McMorrow in the Ivy Gardens,
Oh, that was
song
yesterday.
promoted.
Yeah.
Song promoted.
I saw that as well. Yeah.
and to see any semblance of music coming back just fills me with a
Yeah.
fucking warm light of hope. Honestly, like it's just such a beautiful thing to see the fact that gigs might be coming back, or say they are coming back already, and that there's measures in place. And yeah, like Adam said, more shows being booked. It's just for someone who lives music, it's such a beautiful thing.
Amazing, yeah.
Was that live streamed? Was that live streamed on?
I've no idea. A buddy of mine went to it, but I've no idea if it was live streamed though.
Were you at it yourself or?
No, a buddy of mine was at it.
Alright.
He was actually talking to me today about it. Yeah.
I completely agree with you, man. The sign of it coming back, there's a feeling you get at a gig that I haven't felt at any other moment in time. Just when live music, as even as Chris Leonard said last week, just when that fucking bass drum kicks in and the guitars, the live instruments are singing,
Feel it in your
and you're
chest.
there with strangers, you're singing the same words. It's such a communal thing. And
It's such a beautiful sense of community. Yeah.
Can't wait for it to come back. Darragh.
Yeah, good vibrations again, keeping in theme with
Gigs coming back.
beer gardens.
Beer
We've had a few trips to the beer gardens the past week, and they actually get better and better every time. And I'm heading to one now after this. Have my taxi booked,
Lovely.
my summer shirt on,
Yeah, he's ready to
and,
roll,
and
man.
I'm ready for a pint.
Actually, I think there's taxi guy Dermot.
We'll just grab it. I'll see you later, boys. So beer gardens, yeah, it's great to be back.
And any stories from beer gardens that were particularly
Coming up next
it's coming
week.
up. It's coming up next week or next week. Next
Ooh.
week. Okay, that's not
You're gonna have to shoot it in next week,
Coming
folks.
soon.
Little cliffhanger there. No, boys. Honestly, my actually good vibration. It's kind of a wholesome one, and it's a simple one, boys. It's simply something that I didn't know happened until a friend told me about this fact yesterday. Just chilling out in the garden there. Well, I suppose, sorry, what's on my good vibrations? It's actually nature, boys. And it's the beauty of nature and how you can, and the simplicity of it, and how when you notice the little things, you can appreciate them. And it's mad. And it's something as simple as this, boys. We were literally just looking at a few daisies, not daffodils, I call them daisies. And she's just like, yeah, I love it when the sun goes down and they the petals close in and go sleep and all. But I'm like,
what?
I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah. When the sun goes in, when it gets dark, the petals of daisies fold in.
Fuck off.
So they literally fucking they
No way.
take
I
a
had no
colour.
idea
Lads.
they
They
did
take a
that.
colour.
That's so beautiful, man. Take it.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not even but it's not such a wholesome thing. It's just fuck. And it was so nice, boys, because we were just hanging out there, and as the evening kind of rolled in, had a few drinks, and what's to happen? And we were like, I feel like, right, what's that one now? In about an hour's time, and right enough, folded right in, and one by one, they're all kind of starting to close in. Yeah, it's beautiful, man. Honestly, yeah.
I never
Such
knew
a
that.
simple thing, but when you notice,
Alright.
there's I think something so peaceful and heartwarming about nature and just
That's
how it
incredible.
works
Yeah.
and these little things.
Wow.
I'm sure there's so many other facts like that about
Wow.
living things, plants, animals that we just have no
I
idea.
don't know,
of.
because
Because we're not looking.
We're
not
telly
looking.
and going to sleep.
And I wouldn't mind, boys, but my mum that morning was like, no, you've someone, some coming over later on. Cut the fucking grass. I don't want to see a single daisy. Fucking get rid of them. And I was like,
Kill them all.
But it turned into such a beautiful thing. Now this morning I did cut the grass. They're all gone now.
Oh.
But they had a lovely night last night.
Killed them in their fucking sleep.
Fucking monster.
I wanted to be painters. I didn't want them to know that. They're lovely night.
You're gonna wake up.
Did you
You're gonna wake up with
cut
a
grass last
daisy's
night
head
this
at the
morning?
foot of your bed.
I cut the grass this
He
morning.
cut them all there fucking alive.
My
Oh
God.
my god, savage.
They
Just
just
as they're
woke
awake.
up,
How
bitch,
would you
yeah.
feel?
Oh,
How would you feel if someone came into your room just after you wake up in the morning and cut your head off?
The vegans will be after you, man. The vegans will be after
The
you.
grass is gone. They'll come back.
That's
They'll
shenanigans.
come back. I knew they'll come back.
Yeah, well,
Yeah. Oh, very good.
Is that everyone's good vibrations?
Good vibration.
And that brings us to the last segment, the weekly whimsy.
This is meant to be the funny one.
Yeah. Weekly whimsy is something funny or anecdotal that happened during the week, something funny you read, fun fact, can be anything like that. Adam?
Yeah, I'll go ahead with mine. Mine may not make sense, but I'll try to explain it
That's
as best I
alright.
can. But I'm not sure if any of you are into F1 or anything like that, but I know it's becoming a lot more popular. But basically,
Race cars,
last
right?
week there was a race on,
I know.
and I'm not sure if he's probably know Lewis Hamilton.
We
Yes.
do. We do know.
Is
Yeah.
he married to your one?
I don't think he's
Ten-
married.
Nicole Scherzinger, no?
He was going out with her.
He was
a
with
while
her.
ago.
He was with her for
Yeah.
a good bit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically he's had it really easy the past couple of years, and he's just won all the races. So this year he's finally getting a challenge, and it was really funny because the guy in the lead he's fighting, he crashed out, so they had to restart the race, blah 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 or whatever. He was in second, so all he had to do was just come second, and that'd be fine. And he goes onto the radio to his team boss, and he's like, "All right, guys, this is a marathon, not a sprint. Like, just take it home, all this stuff." It starts off, he goes, completely doesn't brake, tries to overtake on the first dude, completely misses, ends up coming last. And I just found it really ironic that he thought he was all smart and stuff, saying it's a marathon, not a sprint, and then just bins
You know
it.
that reminds me, boys. Know that little tale there. I don't know if this comes to my head because I am doing primary teaching, but I'm sorry to remember the tale of the tortoise and the hare.
I was gonna say the
Exactly.
No, but the hare giving it loads, fucking big man, big Billy, big bollocks, right? He's stopping along. Stopping along. Stopping along. Well able. Fucking got Moz in this lad. Take a fucking take one. Quick
Take
nap.
one.
Hopefully no one will hoof my head off.
Turtle boy
Yeah.
keeps coming.
He's taking his time. He's taking his time, boys. While your man's having a nap, nod it off, cross the finish line, wins the race.
There you go.
So similar, boys. Don't be a cock,
easy,
big Billy,
easy.
big bollocks.
And don't fall asleep while driving.
Correct.
Good advice.
Brilliant. Ben.
Yeah. First off, following on from Adam's point, I'll say I don't know much about F1, but I know Lewis Hamilton has the inferior flavor of Monster compared to the Doctor. He's an F1 driver, right?
He only drinks that because he's sponsored by it. So
Of course, but it's a good flavor. It's a good.
fair enough. Fair enough.
Worth knowing.
But
There you
yeah,
go.
anyway, yeah, my weekly whimsy. I'm holding it in my hands right now. I work in a shopping centre. I'm a new. I work in a phone repair shop, but across from me there is a flying tiger. I don't know if you guys are familiar
What?
with flying tiger.
A flying tiger.
You know, it's just called
yeah.
Tiger.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
just
part of
tiger.
the-
Yeah.
So they sell all sort of stuff that's whimsical and fun, you know. And I bought this.
Too, yeah.
Oh,
It's a stress
Oh, what's
ball.
this? Oh, we have a prop today.
is that a heart?
It's a heart. It's like a stress ball that's shaped like a heart, and you squeeze it,
Oh,
and it's that.
Wow.
But it's filled with like shaving cream, not
Oh.
beads.
what?
Uh,
That's so
yeah,
bizarre.
it's like honestly, I don't know if you're gonna be able to. You guys are gonna be able to see it on your camera or whatever. But let me see if I can get. Yeah, so if you look in there, it's like light. See?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We won't be able to see it, but we still have that gift from Zoom.
No, of course, yeah.
We'll,
of course.
we'll catch it when we watch it back.
Yeah, and upon further inspection, yeah, it was like shaving cream, and I just thought that was really funny. I bought it
There you
today.
go. I'm not gonna lie, man. Like when you said while you're putting the weekly whimsy was in your hands and you had your hands down below the camera, I was getting a bit worried
Didn't
just
know
for
what
half
to
a second.
expect.
Half a second.
I was tempted.
I got your weekly whimsy right here, boys. No, that's brilliant. So a heart, stress ball with shaving cream in it.
There you go.
That's whimsical.
That is very whimsical.
Yeah.
This is perfect for the show.
Yes, exactly.
My
Okay.
weekly whimsy was I was in a beer garden with the boys.
Oh, here we go.
on-
Here it is. Here
on,
it is.
on Wednesday.
Beer
All
gardens.
beer
And
gardens.
it was the first time the lads were together in a beer garden in a long time. We were fucking excited. The pints were flowing. And some owl lad bought us around. Our friend's godfather bought
Yeah,
us around.
supposedly, allegedly, our friend's
Allegedly, our
godfather,
friend's godfather.
Yeah. He was not
bought-
seen for the night.
No, but he bought us around, and just the spirits are great. But one of the lads, right, and now normally this fella's a tank when it comes to the drink. Now he could drink us all under the
I'm
table
pretty sure I've seen
any
him
day
neck
of the
half
week,
bottle of Jameson in the
and
past.
not even blink,
Lot of
not
scotch,
even
lot of
blink.
scotch.
But whatever the hell happened to him this night, he was about 4 pints in, maybe 5.
Probably, I'd say five.
But Jesus, oh lads, it was so funny. He just started speaking a language that none of us had ever experienced quite before.
You became, yeah.
I would say it's a cross between Yiddish
Uh-huh.
and kind of some ancient
Yeah.
tribal kind of
He became a fluent Arabic speaker. And
it's Arabic
It was,
Yiddish kind
yeah.
of a.
he
and-
had a new
like-
native tongue.
and
As he
it
did.
was
kind of like 90s Ozzy Osbourne.
90s Ozzy Osbourne, exactly. That sounds exactly like the way he was speaking. Really,
Pretty
not
good.
gonna lie.
That's pretty good.
But he
we have to clip right here.
he did it for about half an hour.
Oh man, that's it longer.
And, like,
there's crazy.
It wasn't even just like a few seconds. It was just a. And actually, maybe he was taken off Ozzy Osbourne now that I think about it. But full on didn't stop. What else happened? A chair was broken.
Yeah, he dipped his phone in a few pints and threw it behind him.
He smashed his phone off the ground. Yeah.
Crazy antics, boys.
Crazy
I
antics.
Can fix it.
boys. We all had a few now, but it's just when you see a man and you're like, I don't really know who he is anymore, but it's a scary
that's
time.
like a-
But you know, it signified welcome back to the beer
and
garden.
he got home safe.
He got home safe,
So
and he's all good
That's
now.
all
He's
that
ready
matters.
for round
And now
3.
he's back fluent in English.
And he's back fluent in English. Yeah.
At least-
no,
at
man,
least
he's
as close to
he's
fluent as
actually
he was
still
before.
talking like that.
That's in there.
He might have been spiked.
He's like that mad old priest out of Father's Head who.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one,
Guys.
man, that's the one. No, but my weekly moves now, I just found it very, very funny. I was listening to the Blind Boy podcast again, boys. And
Oh,
I
what a
enjoyed
podcast.
the Blind Boy podcast very, very much. I
That's
like
the
how
way.
he speaks. I think he's
Almost
very,
as good as the Paddy and Darragh Show.
Almost as good.
Almost.
Oh,
Good
great
man,
point
Ben.
for you, Ben. Absolutely fantastic. He's just, he listens and no, he speaks and you listen.
Yeah.
He makes you want to
Yeah.
listen. I listened to the man talk for 80 minutes about the history of chicken fillet rolls. And I was never more enlightened in my entire life. He fucking blew me balls off. But let me
Really?
tell you now, yeah. He talked about the famine,
Yeah.
and how we have a lack of a food culture as a result.
Yeah.
He talked about the Celtic tiger,
Lovely.
and how we got a bit greedy, and how that led to the breakfast roll, which which inspired the chicken fillet roll.
Lovely.
And then when we all went poor from the recession, rising from the ashes of this breakfast roll was the chicken fillet roll.
There you
But
go.
how even though it looks very pleasant on the eye, it's filled with just false fucking lies. You know, it's not
Yeah.
real anything. But they made some very funny comparisons. He goes, if you even look at the breakfast roll, right, it looks messy.
Yeah.
It's fucking loads of bits of pig squashed together in a bit of bread. And
sauce.
red sauce all over it. He goes,
Yeah.
it's representative of a drunk Irishman lying in a gutter with
Yeah.
blood all over him. It's very descriptive. Like he goes, it looks like it's screaming at you. And he's
Jesus.
comparing that to the chicken fillet roll, saying the chicken fillet roll is very easy on the eye. It looks quite neat, quite pleasant. And he goes, I'd say the breakfast roll wants to buy 4 mortgages.
Yeah.
You know, the chicken fillet roll knows it mightn't get a mortgage. It's happy renting for now. You know,
Yeah.
the breakfast roll wants to do coke. Whereas the chicken fillet roll, now it might do a yoke at EP, but it's not too common, you know. But I was just listening and thinking, Jesus, this man can really talk about anything, and I'm so here for it. But
There was-
some of the shite he was saying, brilliant.
There was a kind of intermediary, more kind of less talked about, more gammy cousin of the chicken fillet roll that was kind of an in between. So
Oh.
it transitioned from the breakfast roll to the chicken goujon roll,
Oh.
Okay.
and then to the chicken fillet roll. That's my opinion on it, because
I actually-
once they're
I actually think
Yeah.
I prefer chicken Cujon roll.
I don't remember that being as common of a thing. And what kind of ingredients are we talking here now? Is it?
well, it's
No,
basically instead of a
goujon.
chicken fillet, you have chicken goujons.
it's
But like, see, the
very
goujons are, I feel like it's more representative of when the recession hit, you know,
Okay.
because they're a bit scrappier, a bit
Yeah.
less fresh, a bit less
Yes.
nice. And it's a role of necessity, not of luxury, you know.
Not have loved it. Well, that's exactly it. Like, and you're saying the breakfast roll is literally just greed.
Yeah.
Like it's not able for itself. It's
No,
too much.
it's too big.
Give me the whole pig.
Yeah. It's greedy ambition, like.
Yeah.
You know.
Sorry, I just had to have a laugh because for about 40 minutes there, we've just been looking at Ben's chin because
Yeah,
there's a
Ben.
big thing saying a gift from Zoom and we can't reach the laptop. So there you are.
Hey,
Ben.
man. No, so is your heart
Am I
again.
pretty?
No, we saw the heart.
It's over.
Brilliant. Is that everyone's whimsy?
Pass us home, man.
Lads, that means it's time to close the show.
Yeah.
You've been wonderful to have on, and it's been great catching up, hearing a little bit about your new singles.
Yeah.
And I think the boys might be singing us out, mightn't they?
I think they just might be, boys. If that's okay with you, we'd love to maybe give the listeners maybe a taste of a little something, if that's alright with you.
We
if
might
get the
throw
chance.
on a bit of Rocky.
I better rock you, boys. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, listen,
Good
lads.
choice,
that-
good choice.
Yes. It's the good one. It's the good one. It is the good one. It is the good one. Yeah.
The other ones are shite.
Yeah, no, not great. I know.
No, joking.
Lads,
Top notch, lads.
listen,
top
thank you so much for tuning in to the Paddy and Darragh Show this week. We hope
deadly.
you enjoyed yourself. Lads, it's been a pleasure having you on.
Thanks for having us.
Have a bit of
It's
crack.
been a great time. Great
It's a
time.
beautiful
Brilliant.
time.
Sounds good.
Viewers and listeners, if you enjoyed it too,
Listen,
make sure you
camera.
like, comment, subscribe.
Give us
and you
5
can-
stars on Apple
Yeah,
Podcasts.
he knows it now. He knows it. 5 stars. Spread the word. Have your ma listen, your dad listen, your
The
nanny.
nannies love it, boys.
The nannies love it.
It's
Granny D
wholesome
loves
content
it.
for all the family.
And Nanny Bacon loves it as
They're all
well.
big
Do a
fans.
nice
Okay,
jump.
boys, listen. Well, it's just always do these.
It's that time of the night
What
where
you
we
do?
say farewell.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure.
Always a treat. And here to sing us out with their smash hit single, Rocky, please welcome to your eardrums, the Psychs. See you next week, lads. Take care.